This is Adrian Breezy Entertainment.
Superhuman era follows a world suddenly invaded by unknown monsters called Zeniterans, threatening humanity. In response, superhumans emerge, individuals with extraordinary abilities capable of fighting these creatures. The story centers on Kong Lim, a high school student who secretly operates as the vigilante superhero White Cap, confronting these monsters while uncovering hidden forces manipulating events behind the scenes. The narrative explores the tension between those who use their powers for good and those with sinister intentions. Damn Reincarnation is a manhwa that story follows Hamel Dynas, a warrior who embarks on an adventure to defeat the Demon Kings. After dying just before the final battle, he is reborn as Eugene Lionheart, a descendant of his friend Vermouth. With a body that has higher specs and extraordinary abilities, Eugene faces the challenges of coexisting with demons and unraveling the mystery behind his past life and his friends' disappearances.
The Existence manga follows Lee Jane, who has existed on Earth for 3.5 billion years, dying and being reborn as various animal species. In his final life, he is reborn as a human in South Korea, inheriting superpowers from his past lives. Determined to survive and wipe out humanity, he faces challenges when a car accident erases his memory, leading him to question humanity's worth and its fate. The story explores themes of nature versus humanity and the impact of human actions on the planet.
The story follows a human consciousness that awakens inside a sci-fi survival video game as an alien life form. The protagonist must navigate a hostile and unfamiliar world, using prior knowledge of the game to survive and progress through a series of evolutionary stages until reaching a final, perfected form. Each stage of evolution transforms the protagonist into a more formidable and terrifying cosmic entity, gradually instilling fear across the digital universe. Jungle Juice is a Korean webtoon that follows Suchin Jang, a college student who is at the top of the social food chain but hides a secret. He has insect wings that grew from a mysterious bug spray called Jungle Juice. When he reveals his true self to save someone, his life crumbles, leading him to discover a hidden world of insect humans where acceptance is based on who they are, not their appearance. This world is governed by the law of the jungle, where everyone must fend for themselves to survive. Poison Dragon, The Legend of an Azura, follows the story of Jinzi Chang, a lone survivor of the medicine faction, which has fallen to the evil hands of the Venom clan. After being injected with various poisons, he rises as an Azura, filled with anger and a desire for revenge against those who destroyed his faction. His ultimate goal is to destroy the entire poison faction and give them a taste of their own venom. The Legend of the Northern Blade manga follows the journey of Jin Muon, a young warrior who embarks on a quest to avenge his father's death and defeat the villains threatening the world. The story is set in a world where the brave warriors of the Northern Heavenly Sect fought to keep the world safe from the evil Silent Knight. However, when the fourth generation leader is accused of colluding with the enemy, he is forced to disband the sect and commit suicide to protect his son, Muon. With no family and allies left, Muon leads a dreary life under close surveillance until a surprise attack from the Silent Knight gives him a chance to escape to the mountains. There, he trains to master the fighting techniques of his predecessors and faces the challenges of a world plunged into darkness. The manga is praised for its depth, engaging plot, and stunning art, making it a must-read for fans of action, martial arts, and revenge stories.
Nanomachines manga follows the story of Cheon Yeo-woon, a character who is injected with a mysterious nanomachine that grants him extraordinary abilities. Set in a martial arts academy, the manga explores themes of naturality, competition, and personal growth as Yeo-woon navigates his way through challenges and seeks revenge against his powerful half-siblings. The narrative combines elements of fantasy and sci-fi with a focus on martial arts and the complexities of his character's journey. Reaper of the Drifting Moon follows the story of Pyo Wool, an orphan who wanders the continent until he encounters a mysterious man and loses consciousness. Upon waking, he finds himself in a dark, confined space with only one iron door for escape. He discovers that a group of masked individuals has kidnapped 300 children to train them into battle-ready soldiers. Pyo-woo must survive several months of torment and defeat his captors to prove himself worthy of selection and find freedom. Reborn Rancor. Gravity User follows the story of Ikoma Ichinos, a bandit class hunter who was betrayed and left for dead. He is granted a second chance through a time-turning pocket watch and chooses the path of a gravity master. With control over gravitational forces, Ikoma aims to become the greatest adventurer by mastering his hidden class abilities and rewriting his destiny in a world where only the strongest survive.
Reincarnation of the Suicidal Battle God is a time travel action fantasy manga that follows Zephyr, the last survivor of mankind. After a defeat in battle against the gods, he is given a second chance at life, sent back 10 years in time to become a slave instead of the most powerful human. The story revolves around his quest for revenge against the gods and his battles against the demons that have taken everything from humanity. The manga combines elements of fantasy, action, and revenge, making it a compelling read for fans of the genre. The Return of the Disaster Class Hero is a manga that follows Jian Li, a once greatest hero who was betrayed and left for dead after 20 years. Now, he has returned stronger than ever and seeks to exact revenge on his former allies, known as Saints, who were chosen by the zodiac gods to combat calamities that threaten humanity. The story explores themes of betrayal, power, and redemption as Jian Li confronts his past and seeks to teach his fellow Saints a lesson they will never forget. Return of the SSS Class Rancor. The story centers on Roken, known as the King of Violence, who was the strongest player in the virtual reality game The Lord. After an assassination order from a rival guild causes him to lose everything, Roken unexpectedly wakes up 3 years in the past, giving him a chance to rebuild his power and seek revenge against those who wronged him. The narrative follows his journey as he climbs back to the top, facing new challenges and rivalries along the way. The survival story of a sword king in a fantasy world manga follows the journey of Ryu Hanbin, a Korean man who was recently discharged from military service. He is transported to another world, where he is tasked with surviving and growing stronger against a world riddled with monsters. However, his guideline system, intended to aid his survival and growth, is filled with errors, leaving him trapped in a tutorial stage for over 20 years. After being released from this predicament, he finds himself in a world where otherworlders are viewed with suspicion and fear. The story follows his adventures as he seeks to survive and get stronger, while also facing the challenge of defeating the evil god Ormflaus, the creator of the guidelines, offering readers a blend of action, fantasy, and survival elements. Swordmaster's youngest son. The story revolves around Jean Runcandle, the youngest son of a prestigious Swordmaster clan. Despite his lineage, Jean is initially seen as a failure due to his lack of swordsmanship skills, leading to his banishment. However, after making a contract with the god Saderet, he is reborn as a baby, long before his tragic fate. With newfound powers and a second chance at life, Jean is determined to become the ultimate swordmaster and reclaim his rightful place. The player that can't level up. The story centers on Kim Ji-gyu, who awakens as a player at the age of 18. He enters a world where players climb towers and close gates, expecting to grow stronger through battles. However, even after completing the tutorial, he remains at level 1. He kills a goblin every day, yet after 5 years, he is still level 1, making him a unique and mysterious figure in this universe. The manga explores his struggles, strategies, and interactions in a world where leveling up is the norm.
Ultra Alter is a manga that follows Lee O'Ream, a high school student who plays as a healer shuttle character in the VR MMORPG game Ergosphere Online. One day, his sub-character Avenger, which he secretly raises, becomes the best. The story revolves around Lee's journey to overcome various dangers, including monsters and quests, as he navigates the challenges of both the game and his real-life life as a bullied high school student. This action-adventure ultramodern fantasy manga explores themes of growth and overcoming adversity.
Villain to Kill follows Cashin Lee, a powerful psyker dedicated to justice. After being betrayed and framed for the murder of a comrade, Cashin dies, only to have his soul transferred into the body of a Korean high school boy who has just become a villain. This twist forces him to confront the moral dilemma of using villainous powers to fight evil. The story explores whether his sense of justice will prevail or if he will succumb to becoming a cold-blooded villain.